Alright guys, welcome to Chapter 8, Managing a Digital Lifestyle, Media and Ethics. In this chapter, we're going to describe how digital convergence has evolved. I'll tell you what digital convergence is. We'll explain the differences between digital and analog signals, talk about some different types of e-readers, talk about how to purchase, borrow, and publish e-texts, talk about how digital music is created and stored, summarize how to listen to and publish music, explain how best to create, print, and share digital photos, describe how to create, edit, and distribute digital video, describe the various types of intellectual property, explain how copyright is obtained and the rights granted to the owners, explain copyright infringement, summarize the potential consequences, and describe situations in which you can legally use copyrighted material. Explain plagiarism and strategies for avoiding it. Describe hoaxes and digital manipulation. And finally, describe what comprises your online reputation and how to protect it. So, when we talk about digital convergence, basically we're just talking about the use of a single unifying device to handle media, internet, entertainment, telephone needs, all of that stuff together. Okay. One outstanding example of convergence is your smartphone. Okay. Takes care of all of that in one neat little package. IoT, so we talked about Internet of Things very briefly in the last chapter, includes networking common household items, so like your refrigerator. Okay, as you can see the smart fridge over here. Sorry guys, smart fridge right there. Okay. And we also have the Digital Living Network Alliance, which is just an organization working to standardize different kinds of appliances and network devices used in our homes. So any kind of information can be digitized. Digital formats describe signals as long strings of numbers. This gives us a way to describe sound and light waves so that sounds and images can be reproduced perfectly. A sequence of numbers can express complicated analog shapes with analog to digital conversion. The incoming analog signal is measured many times each second. The series of numbers produced by the analog to digital conversion process gives the digital form of wave. The wave right here, okay? Electronic text is textual information which has been captured digitally. E-readers are devices that display e-text and have other supporting tools. The allure of digital publishing is the ease of distribution, right? You don't have to print on paper and mail stuff out anymore. Pretty much you just come up with your content and send it out there, and it's very easy to download onto your devices. And e-ink, or electronic ink, is a sharp grayscale representation of text, and that's the kind of like text you see if you have like a Kindle or any kind of device like that. There are free software versions of the Kindle and the Nook that run on either PC or Apple computers. You can download text and read them as a PDF file or by using browser add-ons. Right? The digital formats for publishing vary. So like Amazon sells the Kindle, Barnes & Noble sells the Nook. Okay. If you are looking for free books, you can go to Project Gutenberg. And what this is a repository site, and it has a collection of over 42,000 free books. Okay. If you're a writer and you want to publish your book, it's much easier now. In this age of digital text, anyone can publish a book now. Okay, so go for it. To record digital music, the sound waves need to be turned into a string of digital information through the analog to digital converter. Okay. The sampling rate specifies the number of times the analog wave is measured each second. There are several file formats that are used to store digital music and video, including MP3s, AAC, WMA, DivX, MPEG-4, WMV, XVID. Okay, I could go on and on. All file formats compete on sound and video quality and compression. And as we've talked about, compression relates to how small the file can be and yet still provide high quality playback. Ripping is just the process of converting a song from a CD to a digital MP3 file. And if you want to move large volumes of data, like between your computer and music devices, you can usually connect the devices just using like a USB port or cloud services, which automatically will push music to your mobile device. So much easier than plugging in and like manually grabbing the music onto your device. Options for listening to digital music include a port or dock on an audio receiver, networked audio-video receivers. New cars come equipped with an auxiliary input, and systems like Sonos can mate wirelessly with the mobile device. Okay. We have something called Digital Rights Management, or DRM, and what this is a system of access that allows only limited use of material that's been legally purchased. So what that means is, like, say you actually purchase a CD. I know it's a scary thing, but people do still buy CDs, okay? And you're going to like put it into your phone or something, okay? And so you upload the music onto your computer or into the cloud. Okay, it's only going to allow you to do that a certain number of times, or you can only burn like a certain number of CDs. Or if you download music, same kind of thing. It's only going to let you copy that like a certain number of times. That's all thanks to digital rights management. So limited use of material that's been legally purchased. We have digital photography. Okay, digital cameras don't use film. Instead, they capture images on electronic sensors and then convert those images to digital data. When choosing a camera, the first question to answer is whether you want a compact point-and-shoot model camera or a more serious digital SLR. And SLR just stands for single lens reflex. The overall image quality is determined by several different factors. So, how good are your lenses? What's the image sensor size? What file format and what compression was used? What's the color management software? And what's your camera's resolution? Resolution is just referring to the number of data points that are captured for each image. Okay. When you talk about pixels, pixels are picture elements, or namely like a single dot in a digital image. Different file formats for pictures include RAW files, which record like all of the original image information. So these can be like really giant files. And then also JPEG files, which you can compress to varying degrees. As far as printing out your photos, there's different printers you can use. Okay, the most popular and inexpensive ones are inkjet printers, but you're not going to get like any high quality photo printing it out on an inkjet printer. Okay, usually you send pictures out to be developed or printed. I'm sorry. So like like the little kiosks at like Walgreens, or you just upload them to sites like Shutterfly or Snapfish. Okay, and then order prints if you so desire. Okay, digital video. So sources of digital video content include obviously television, okay, the internet, so like Vimeo and Ustream, and then there's pay services, so things like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, all those types of things. Okay. Digital camcorders or webcams allow recording of digital video. And video editing software allows the editing of the video that you took with your camcorder or your webcam. Codecs are just the rules for compressing audio and video files, right? If you talk about high definition, that's a standard that guarantees a specific resolution and aspect ratio. All right, and then this figure here shows some of the popular video file formats that are in use, along with their file extensions. Okay, and then these notes here you can read tells you what type of file format, what you're going to use to view the file format, etc. So let's talk about intellectual property. Intellectual property is obviously a product of a person's mind. Okay, so we have different categories of intellectual property. Copyright, so protection can be granted to creators of original works of authorship. Patents, these grant inventors the right to stop others from manufacturing, using, or selling their inventions. Trademarks, so this is like a word, a phrase, symbol, or design, or a combination of those that uniquely identifies and differentiates the goods of one party from those of another. There's also service marks. So these are basically like the same as a trademark, but it applies to a service as opposed to a product. And finally, we have trade dress, and that applies to the visual appearance of a product or its packaging. Copyrights begin when works are created and fixed into either a digital or a physical form. The rights of a copyright holder are shown here in this figure. Okay. Works are considered to be in the public domain if they don't have any copyright protection. So, you need to be aware of that. And then if you hear the term copyleft, which we've heard previously, as far as like open source software, okay, these are plans which enable copyright holders to grant certain rights to their work. Okay. Copyright infringement, this happens when violations of the holder's rights occur. Music and video violations can cause a significant loss of revenue. Not to you, but, to the big companies, okay? Also to potentially musicians, actors, etc. Software piracy is illegally using copyrighted software. Okay? Even photos should be considered copyrighted. And fair use provides a way for people to use like portions of a copyrighted work. Right. Plagiarism. This is the act of copying text or ideas from someone else and then claiming them as your own. So you guys, I'm sure you know that. Okay. This is usually considered an academic offense of dishonesty, but isn't really like punishable under U.S. civil law. Okay. So if there's any doubt in your mind, like cite the source. Hoaxes. This is what happens. We live in this digital era. Okay. Anything designed to deceive another person. Okay. Urban legends are incorporated into society as true events, like even though they're false. Okay. You can check out like things you're like, no, I don't believe that's true. Like Snopes is really good at telling you whether something is true or not. Okay. And then digital manipulation, that involves altering media from the way like they were originally seen. Finally, as far as you and protecting your online reputation, like you need to be worried about your online reputation. Okay, it doesn't go away. Like it follows you. It continues on with you. Like I don't envy those of you who grew up in the age of computers, as far as like you always had one and social media has always been a part of your life. This stuff, like I said, it carries on with you throughout your life. Once something is posted on the internet, like it never goes away. Okay, despite you deleting it or whatever, like it's not gone ever, which is not a nice, exciting thing to hear, right? So, how to protect your online reputation? Improve and update your personal profiles, like clean them up if possible, or make sure everything's as private as can be. Create content on relevant sites. If you post frequently so people actually know it's you, okay, and then be really vigilant about it. Like make sure you're posting decent stuff, okay? So that's the end of Chapter 8. Thank you.